And just like that, it works. Hey, welcome to the ADLR Podcast. This week I got Broski Brian on my left here, if you're watching visually here, and Randall on the right. Hello, 75, loaded up.
What's up?
There you go. What you doing on the phone, huh? What you doing?
Surfing
the web. What do you guys want to talk about first? You guys had a pretty huge weekend this weekend. How y'all doing? How you feeling? Brian, you want to go first?
What am I doing this week? What did you say to me?
Oh, Jesus. What are y'all both browsing porn? What's going on?
No, yeah, I am.
Be here.
I have another podcast where I review porn, and I was just making sure my doc was ready.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
It's called Come and Go Podcast.
Yeah. So you guys both entered Evo this weekend. How did that go?
We both had the same record.
That's what he told me, yeah. That's what you guys both did. So, I mean, I told you guys both the same thing. You guys won more than you lost. So,
with an asterisk.
You have an asterisk now?
Yeah, 2 of them were just DQs.
What do you mean DQs? What happened?
They never checked in.
Oh, okay. That's still a W, Brian. So, where I'm from, when they DQ, they lost. That's it. DQ is still a loss for them.
I guess.
Weird how I knew where those 2 people lived and they couldn't make it. Johan, allegedly, right? Like, relax. Relax. They start knocking on his door, sir. So we have suspicion that you had involved with the missing persons case. Tell me, how was it? How was the experience going on online? Was there... Obviously, you have to check in and shit, so what happened?
I mean, since 2 people DQ'd, it was literally, I checked in, wait for the first match, I was seeded for round 2, so I didn't have a round 1. I don't know why. I've never entered a Skullgirls tournament on Smash.gg, but they're like, he's going to round 2.
Okay.
And so I was there and had to wait like almost 30 minutes for them to DQ this first guy, because since it was round 2, you have a bigger check-in window.
Okay.
And then DQ'd him. Like, oh shit, cool. And then trying to remember if DQ'd yet. So then I went to the first actual person. I think their name was Softy, and they're actually a really good player.
Okay.
I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that. I only knew the Kill Sage, who was in my pool, and then Law Analog, something like that. Law Analog, I don't know how to pronounce it. The 2 pro players I knew. Immediately oppressed. Me.
Damn. I think that's the one I saw. There was the 3 character team.
Mm-hmm.
I think Annie was in it, and I forgot the other 2.
It was Robo, Annie, and I don't even remember the 3rd character. If I'm being honest with you, I don't even remember the 3rd character.
That's because I don't know. They had a bunch of assist calls and stuff. I was going to ask you would you benefit from just having a 3rd so you can have some assists, because
I could have. So both of those characters don't really do well against zoning. Squiggly can do things about it for zoners if she's able to gain the stance charge. So I can just pull the screen to center around me.
Yeah.
And if you do the EX one, which you need a charge for, it'll do like a super stop. So like, when you super and the game kind of pauses, it'll do that for that move. So then I can just cancel into a super and then lock them down. Uh-huh. But the thing is, the beam goes through and hits both Cerebella when I call the assist and me. If I try to jump over beam, any DP assist would catch me, and that shit, if it hits you, you could be in another level and you can still confirm.
Holy shit, after the fact?
Yeah, so it was that, and Cerebella has a reflecting move, but the thing is, that's all she has to counter zoning.
And I'm assuming that's not gonna cut it with the amount of zoning that team had. So
yeah, if I had a 3rd assist, like, so if I had a beam of my own or something anti-zoning, I could have done better, but I just went in with what I normally play. I didn't go in thinking, this is my shot. I'm gonna get top 8 at EVO. I'm gonna get sponsored by Nesquik, and then boom, I'm going pop. And I was like, this is my favorite fighting game. I'm going in here playing the tried and true, and whatever happens, happens.
I thought you already sponsored by Nesquik and Swiffer.
No, it's Swiffer. I don't remember my other ones. I forgot every other joke but Swiffer.
I mean, that's the most pronounced. You did the most work. You got the most earnings under Swiffer, so
I earned my stripes under.
Oh, all right.
That's
pretty good.
So that first one was very free, but the thing about this game is, while getting oppressed, I'm not like, I can't even. I'm like, oh, yo, he fucking got me.
Yeah. I saw the Softy match because Randall sent me the link to the guy was streaming. I didn't know you can stream it.
Yeah, you can stream it. I just didn't want to risk it. Which, luckily, my internet never shat itself
throughout the whole thing. Oh, that's good.
Throughout the whole thing. I did it later on, day like 9 or something. So they're like, he's gonna play Skullgirls. Let him have it this one time.
Yeah, we'll come back later.
Yeah.
If we see he didn't make it, unfortunately, then we'll just shit on him for that.
So now I went to losers, and then the person I had to play in losers first DQ'd. So again, it's just me waiting. Oh. And then I finally played someone after waiting. 3-0'd them. They did solo robo, and they did not know how to block squiggly resets.
So you just went to town. Yeah.
Clean 3-0. Then right after that, I had to play someone named Clawmaster, I think it is. And I played Squiggly Cerebellum. Mm-hmm. They played Squiggly Big Band.
Ooh.
Basically same purpose, but just different thing. His Squiggly was so gorgeous that after they 3-0'd me, I was just smiling. Like I'm eliminated. I'm like that, and then I messaged him like, if you have free time, you play me a Squiggly, teach me Squiggly. He's like, oh yeah, sure, if I have free time.
That's lit right there. That's crazy. Yeah. So was he hitting you shit you never seen before, or is it just stuff that you've seen online and then like you saw it executed in front of you and you're like, I gotta learn this?
Yeah, it's stuff that I've seen, but the way the windows in which they did said things was like, he got me. Very impressive, good neutral. Yeah, like I'm kind of glad I lost the ways I did, because it's just like, yo, this game, when you actually like ascend past the level, there's so many like layers in terms of skill, like what you're doing and why you're doing this move or this assist and where you put resets, and it's just beautiful. And this guy's,
and you can put in custom input, so that for assists, that's a whole other level of gameplay.
Mm-hmm. On top of this, like being the opposite of Marvel and those games where you land a hit and you're there until they die. The goal is you land a hit in Marvel games. If it doesn't bring in another character, do something more optimal. But with Skullgirls, you're always allowed to play because you know the reset's coming.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I enjoyed myself. The only things I didn't like was waiting from between like those people to get DQ'd for just sitting there. That was the negative, but I mean, when I played, it's still the game I love. So
nice.
I want to, since after that too, I want to see if I can actually like window out a time to play Skullgirls more often, and like because this game, it got patch notes, and with more people playing and revisiting it, there's so much like tech and ways to play characters that like 9 years ago or whatever people weren't doing.
So I mean, yeah, that's what happens when you get to Evo, because more people are going to put eyes on, especially when the entrance is free, right?
Yeah.
More people will just play for the hell of it. It's like, oh, I'll try this game out. They like it a little bit. They enter. They start practicing more. Higher player base on Steam. They're like, oh, okay, more traction. DLC is bought because of it, because there's a new character. So they're like, okay, we got more money, more funds. Let's put more development time into it.
They announced that Umbrella's going to be an alpha in August, like playable alpha.
Yeah, that's on the tweets too. That it might be
characters.
Go ahead.
My Cerebella is, after coming back to the game, is ass now for some reason, but I like her, but it doesn't mesh as well, just like the Peacock thing. So what I'm gonna do and just shelf her for a bit is either play Squiggly with 2 characters that have guns, or for giggles, I'm just gonna play an all gun character team and see
and just super zone the shit out of everyone.
Yeah. So the 3 characters that have guns, it would be essentially picking 2 or all of them would be Parasol, our main.
The general hour, including chats.
Peacock, I mean, obviously I'm going to learn her again because she was my favorite prior.
And she got hella guns.
And Double has a gun.
Because she uses a Peacock move, right? Or is it Parasol?
Uses Parasol, so she turns into Parasol and points a gun.
Oh, Johan in the chat said he ordered his stick and it got shipped earlier today. So it should get it by Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh shit!
Cool. Cool.
Whenever you want to play something, John, just let me know. We can
strive it up.
Whatever.
That's an
we can
install strive.
We can go to Gallus it up. I don't remember what else you have. But we can it up. We can Tekken it up.
You guys both own a copy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were using his or he was using yours or something.
No, it was on sale once for like if I didn't buy it, I was racist. That's how low it was.
Oh, those are I've seen those discounts where I'm like I have to buy this. They're basically giving it to me.
Like this game is too solid. Even though I have no business playing 3D fighters. The game is too solid and too cheap right now that if I didn't buy this, someone should cancel me. And I was like, I gotta buy this. Yeah, but I still want to try the girl who looks like Siri from Witcher, but I couldn't justify that just because I don't play the game like that.
You should. It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. Yeah, it's fun to play. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun to play. Making gorilla sounds with Zafina.
Now that I have a new main after watching Fighting Spirit, it's over for everyone.
Who do you mean, Steve?
Yeah, he's the only boxer in the game now, right? Or is there another boxer?
No, I'm trying to think. No, you said that, and I pictured Dudley, like.
Oh, Dudley's my new main. That's true. Street Fighter is my new. Oh, or no, Balrog is another boxer.
Balrog's another boxer. Lucas looks like, or Luke, the new guy that they announced that should not have been the last character.
Did you hear that he's supposed to be either Nash's or Guile's kid?
People are throwing every idea out there. You know,
I'm like, how?
The intro
because he had dog tags. Yeah.
You know, it shows in Street Fighter 2's intro shows a white dude fighting a black dude, and they think he's the white dude's son. They're just saying white guy blonde, like the rest of the cast. He's somebody's kid.
He's somebody's son. But when I read that article, I'm like,
an idiot.
I mean, he just looks generic to me. He doesn't have like the personality like the other characters do.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen him in motion. I've only seen still the stills of him in game.
Even like the trailer, him in motion looks like they probably just took everyone else's moves and just made a Frankenstein character. The only thing that he does that I was like, that looks cool, is he punches a projectile at you.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
He goes, and that's the projectile essentially. So he's like hit. But everything else about him, yuck. Almost half the cast is blonde and white. Yeah.
He also has Tekken 7, Strive, Plus R, Skullgirls, Fighting Herds, and Melty Blood installed. You guys have options.
I have to install Melty and Plus R and Fighting Herds, but I have all those ass whale. Yeah, Skullgirls was fun. Trying more I want to sit down and try more characters. You know, repick up all of our main, which is Parasol. Pick up Peacock again. I watched the rest of Top 8, which was on Sunday.
How was it?
Beautiful.
Who ended up taking it?
Cloud King.
I don't know if I've seen him play.
He's a good player. He's primarily a Valentine main. He plays Valentine. I think Robo Fortune and someone else. But then he's also been picking up a side team of Misfortune, not the robot one. So he's playing essentially two teams throughout the tournament, and he's won a major earlier this year. So he's just going off.
Oh, good for him then. Where did the Kill Sage end up in? Did he make it top 8?
He made it. Yeah, he made it to top 8. So did Sonic Fox, but the Kill Stage started in winners and top 8. Sonic Fox was in losers. He got beat by someone named, was it like something fingers, Snazzy Snuggle Fingers, I think.
Okay. John says they might have been double his other character.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm blanking on the last character. It might have been.
That was definitely a still frame of Brian Nutton.
I'm trying to remember what happened. I think the Kill Stage 3 owed someone in winners. Cloud beat Triv, which is another one of my favorite players. So he got to like top 4. He ran through Sonic Fox. He ran through the Kill Sage and made it to grand finals, but then he got 3-0'd.
Damn. So he was on a
quite a run. And the reason I love Triv is his team, because it's fucking Peacock already. Robo Fortune and Anchor Squiggly. And his Squiggly's fucking chef kiss.
Oh, okay. Better than the one you fought in losers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if they like shared the same level of swag, if you will.
No, it's more. The resets are like, it looks disrespectful the way he resets people so quickly.
Like, you know, the other person's getting upset.
There's some that look like, the only reaction is what the fuck, and then as you're saying that, he did another reset,
and you're already getting fucking punished for not getting out of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, watching and playing it, it's just
revitalized your love for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it was so entertaining that it's making other like highly known players like Justin Wong was tweeting, Skullgirls looks so fun to watch it, and then Sonic Fox like, well, you should play it then. And Flo was like, it makes me want to try Skullgirls. So there's a bunch of people watching him. Like,
I thought they all played it already.
They might have tried it, but I don't know.
Yeah, and then they never stuck with it. At the end of the day, it's going to be prize pool that attracts those higher level pro players anyway. They say, oh, it looks fun to try, but I'm sure that if there's no tournaments paying heavy bucks, you're not going to play it.
I don't even think Justin Wong needs tournament money anymore.
No, but it's incentive to put time into it. I don't know what Justin Wong's playing nowadays. I haven't followed any of those fighting game players in a while.
I think Justin plays a little bit of everything now. I don't know. I mean, he streams as well and makes money off of that. And I think he took the Daigo route, where instead of having like a sponsored team like Evil Geniuses, he got his own sponsors to sponsor him directly. So he is his team essentially. So like Daigo has specific companies, not like a esports organization. Those companies themselves directly sponsor him. So there's no middleman.
Got it.
Whereas like some people have like an Evil Geniuses and the sponsors are through them.
They trickle down that way.
Yeah.
My bad. Gotta put this on vibrate. Oh, my fucking camera's going wild. Let's move that in the center a bit.
That's all I gotta say about that.
All right. I mean, the train keeps it going, Randall. Tekken. Evo. Thoughts? How'd it go? You enjoy yourself?
So good. It was a bad experience.
You didn't like any of it?
It was alright. I didn't like the way I performed.
Okay.
So it took the joy out of it.
Were you upset with yourself the entire time?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a positive win record there. Was there any DQs for you, or you got to fight everyone?
I fought everyone.
And there you go. No asterisk. Cool. All right. Well, I had quite the story for you guys. Two of them. One happened in the same day. I went to go mount a TV at a friend's house, right? It took 9 hours. You're like, Anthony, what the fuck? So it all started off with, I arrived there, and I'm like, I've done this before. I have 2 mounted TVs. I know what I'm doing here, right? Cold tub story. And the cold tub, too. Yeah. She went wild. That's after the TV mounting. Went in. I'm like, yo, get your tools ready. He had everything ready, good to go. He said, I'm going to take care of the wall stuff while I set up the TV for the mounting. I'm doing that. That's going fine. He started drilling through the wall and then notices that it sounded like he was going through metal or some shit or going through something. And we're like, oh, no, did he hit like a pipe or something? No. We check. I took out one of the fixtures on the bottom? Like if they dropped the line for electricity, but it was audio cables.
Okay.
Opened it up and looked inside, and it was just concrete all over the place. So I'm like, so a wood drill bit, not going to go through concrete. I mean, he put so much force into one of the holes that he went through with a wood drill bit, but that drill bit is not usable anymore. So we're like, oh, fuck. Yeah. So we're like, oh, damn, do you have a masonry bit? He doesn't. First trip to Lowe's. We go and get a masonry bit. Come back. Drill the holes in there. I would have gone through it effortlessly. Some people are built different. You know, we weren't built the way Kroby is. He could have gone right through it. We can't. As much as I lift and push, I can't get through that. Anyway, I think that was one of the trips to Lowe's, is to go get a masonry bit. We come back, start drilling through. Oh, it went through the cement. Cool. But with a lot of effort, because even with the masonry drill bit, it takes a while. Now it was the fact of hanging the thing. The mount comes with screws that you need to put into the cement for it to hold, like concrete anchors. Those didn't fit. We're like, what? That's weird. So we need to go get concrete anchors. Lowe's visit number 2. Let's go get concrete anchors. We come back, and the holes were too small for it. The concrete anchors we got. Perfect. Right? So, Lowe's number 3. We're like, Lowe's trip number 3. We need to get anchors. Like regular anchors you can dig through, and it has like a clamp on the other end. That way you can hang. It's like drywall anchors, but for concrete. I know I just said concrete anchors, but they're different. Don't worry about it. So we got some ones that were like the plastic type. We've seen people use. People have vouched for it. It's like a plastic shit with a metal clip at the end. You start pushing it in, and then that way you clamp it on there and then rip off the excess. That way you can drill through the hole, and now you have your the drill so you can put the mount on. So we put in 3 of them. We bought 4. Obviously 4 holes. 3 of them I put in there, no problem. Cool. This is shaping up to be great. Right? The last one, I tug on the plastic to rip off the excess. Whole fucking thing breaks. So now in the back of his wall, he has some metal shit just in there. So we're like, great. Just great. I almost cried there because it was already like hour 4. And I'm like, oh, great. I know I'm not this strong. Like, these things are just built like shit. It has to be. So I'm like, all right, bro, we have 2 options. We can just redo it with a different type of anchor or go get like backup ones to reuse. Cool. Lowe's trip number 4. We just get more of the same ones, extra, just in case my Hulk ass hands break it. Put it in with the new one. Nice. Works. I got it working. I didn't break it. Time to put in the screw. Go in, put the first screw in there. Nice. It felt like it was too loose, but we're going to keep going. Screw in the last one, just breaks. Doing normal procedure. You're supposed to screw
the anchor.
The anchor thing. Just, oh, nope, too much pressure, breaks. Another thing in the back. The middle clamp just falls. All I have is plastic in my hand. Excellent. All right, bro. I think it's time to go with the fucking heavy duty like anchors for the back end, not the plastic ones. So, low strip number 5.
Yeah, it doesn't fit, does it?
We get one. A pack of them, 4. I think we got like 4 or 5 just in case, right? They spent more money on gasoline than the actual price of the TV. And it wasn't the TV. The TV he already had or whatever. We were just mounting it. So I mean, we probably spent more time on gas than more money on gas than the actual anchors and like the mount. So then we go and get fucking this is just a long ass screw with a thing at the end for the anchor, and we're like, this has to be it, right? We go in, hole's not big enough for the clamp for the thing to go through. The thickest hole we can make was like 1/2 inch. It needed 5/8 of an inch. Low strip number 6. To go get a masonry drill bit that was at least 5/8 of an inch. We get back, we make the holes. They fit. For some reason, when we start screwing in the screws, it doesn't have enough friction on the cement behind it to screw inward. It just keeps spinning in the back because nothing's pulling up against this. We're like, fuck. Luckily, his mother has a bunch of yarn. So we tie yarn at the head of the screw and pull while we screw it in. Works. Then we have the mount up there. Now it's time to mount the TV on the hook itself. Now we have it on there, but the fucker is swiveling like it's a wheel in a car. And I'm like, how the fuck am I I go and research through the bags of screws. One screw that says, "Oh, it's a mount screw. Use this to put it in the center." Center of what?
Center.
The center. I'm like, what? Where? So as they're holding it, I'm looking through the back of the TV of the mount to see where the hell this one screw that was isolated. Like, you get like a strip of like isolated bags. Like, oh, this is for bullshit. This is for bullshit 2, bullshit 3, and this one's just by itself. One little screw, and I'm like, where? The instructions? They didn't mention it. Let me start with the instructions. They sent him 2 Spanish books, by the way. No English book in the box. So if I wasn't there, he'd have no idea what the hell's happening. I opened up the box, 2 books, manual instructions, Hispanic the entire from front to back. I thought it was like, oh, halfway through it switches to French or English or something because they have like those multilingual books, both Spanish from beginning to end. Excellent. Open up the thing, doesn't mention it. Or if it just shows it, I didn't see it. And as they were swiveling around trying to censor it, I saw the hole in the back.
It's on the mount or the TV?
It's on the mount.
Okay.
But it's after we've clipped it on. Do you think that would have been, that's when the instruction said, oh, clip this on and also put this on there? Nowhere did it say that. So there I am, putting in the screw for the last one. Looks stable, works. Not a problem. TV mounted. Now it's time to set up the receiver to route it properly. Like, put all your actual HDMI devices through the receiver, and then one HDMI out to the TV through ARC, which is the audio return channel. That way, if you're like running a TV with Netflix installed on the TV, the audio still gets routed through the receiver. That way, everything that comes through is either is going to be processed by the receiver, audio-wise, and then the video gets passed through. It would just not cooperate. Right? No, it found it. It's like, oh, the receiver's right there. No problem. Receiver's like, oh, that's the TV right there. I can turn on the TV with the receiver. I can switch inputs, everything. Audio's like, nah, I'm good. Don't need it. How did I fix it? Nothing. After like 10, 20 minutes, it's like, I'm going to start working now. And then the audio started going through. Excellent. And that was my mounting story. That took 9 hours. Almost 10. Then, to end the night, he has a cold tub. He had it set at 54 degrees. And he's been telling me about it, all the benefits. It's great for fat loss. Sitting there for a certain amount of time burns so many calories because your body's obviously trying to heat itself up fast enough to offset the cold, etc., etc. Oh, so I tried to get a feel of it beforehand. Like, I put my hand in there, and as my hand's in there and I'm pulling it out, they're like, don't put your hand in there, that makes it worse. Like, as to try to get used to it, and I'm like, too late. Because just my hand, just going, whoop, putting my hand in, I'm like, I'm gonna die in there. Holy shit. Okay. So then I go and switch in my trunks. All I have is a bathing suit on. I go in. Like, he's like, you can either jump in quickly or slowly go in there. And I'm like, I don't want this cold to slowly come up my body. I want to just go in. The second my foot was engulfed in that water, it was over. I'm like, I'm not going to survive this. This is where I die. In this man's garage in a cold tub. I start yelling, obviously, but laughing hysterically because when you can't cry anymore, you laugh.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. When you get cold showers, you laugh.
Yeah. So I just start laughing hysterically. There's video of this. Because, of course, his girlfriend slash wife, I guess, because of this recording, they're married. So this wife and Janiana are friends. So she's like, I'm going to record this so Janiana can see it. And I'm like, that's perfect for me. This content. Your girl's on the right mind here. Anywho, I can't show it on here because I have no shirt on. So it's TOS. And I'm cursing a lot. And I think I say some shit, so we can't have that. Anyway. It's me yelling, obviously, because holy fuck, it's cold. He in the middle of it, because I used to take cold shower. I still could take cold showers after the gym because I try to simulate that because people go into cold tubs for the cold, for that shit. Cobra in the chest is I've tried that before. It was a cold tub with a tiny hot tub right next to it. Man, I swapped quickly between the two tubs. It gets better for me. Hold on. What I'm gonna describe to you what happened to me was surreal. Anyway, so yeah, in the middle of it. He's like, "Oh, how's that compared to the cold tub or to the cold showers?" And when I tell you that it's not remotely close, I don't know why I'm doing cold showers because it doesn't hit this level of holy fuck cold. Like it's nothing now. When I today after I worked out, I took a cold shower. I'm like, I can't complain about this anymore. There's no way after going to the cold tub I can't complain about this cold shower. I'd have to take it and just sit there, you know. Anywho, so I go in and he's like, it's best to engulf as much of your body as possible. So at first I went hip first, and I'm like, holy fuck, and I started slowly going down until my hands, and it hit like my nipple, like, and then I stood there because I'm like, okay, we'll see what's happening here. Okay, so my feet felt like my toes were coming off. Like the cold was ripping my toes. Like the cold was ripping my toes off of my feet. My calves felt like someone was like slowly stabbing and smiling at me on both of my calves. My hands, each finger, I could have swiped lost. Like I don't know if I was moving it. Like I was looking to see if they were moving because in my mind I'm moving my index finger and I'm looking to see because I can't confirm that I've moved it. You know how when you move, like without looking at my finger, I know I'm moving it. You could not feel that for me. The worst part, I had to get out and go back in. This is the first going in because I needed to readjust. Yeah, I stood there for I think a minute. And I left because the cold rushed. I don't know if my body cold. I don't know if the evil spirits in me came up and I felt it slowly creeping up my neck, and as if someone was grabbing my face like this, slowly covering it. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. It felt like I was being dragged under to hell itself. Like someone, you know how those like horror movies when you see hands all over the guy's face and they're like, that's what it felt like. But like tingles and like pins like in my face. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out. So I got the fuck out and I had to regroup. But I'm shivering because fuck, it's cold even after you step out. And I'm like, all right, I need a moment to recoup mentally, physically. Now that I know what it is, I can, you know. So I cooled off a little bit, then jumped back in. More tolerable. I'm like, okay, I know what to expect. Cool. And I started off slow again, hip first. And then I got comfortable with it. So I kept even all the way down to my neck. So everything below my neck engulfed, except my hands. That I did not want that feeling again. So I basically had my hands like this, and my hands were just sticking out of the water. Because that feeling I don't want again. I felt like my hands were just chopped off, and I don't know what the hell happened. Anyway, it was odd. But once my body got used to it, and it was outputting enough heat for it to like sort of normalize, great. I started vibing after a bit, stood there for 15 minutes. At the 15-minute mark, I got out. Because, I mean, he says that's how long he lasts in there for about 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, all right. And I got out. And it was great. It definitely puts your body to work because I was super tired. You know, obviously your body is like working nonstop to keep yourself warm. And then I ate a pizza afterward because I was hungry as shit. Because obviously my body was like, I ate like a slice of pizza because they ordered pizza. Yeah, because I mean, I had some slices earlier before that. Because they ordered it because I was helping them with the mounting TV. So, anywho, a great experience. I'll do it again if I'm ever over his house. I'm like, I'll ask him if I can get back in there because it felt great. The next day, I mean, I slept like a fucking baby. Because obviously I was
try this.
Like I literally, and then the next day, Thursday morning, I didn't do anything. I was literally laid in Randall walked into the bed, thought I was dead. I just passed out. I woke up. Tried to do some things. I'm like, I'm just too fucking tired. And then just fucking, I just planked on my bed and fell asleep there until like noon. My body was like just bodied. Like my body was bodied. And it was just trying to recuperate from that, I guess, shock.
I'm assuming that'd be a nightmare for me because I always feel cold irregardless of if I'm in a cold shower or not.
Uh-huh.
And unlike you start laughing hysterically when you're cold. For me, it's like sobbing with no tears coming.
Yeah, but that's basically.
So when I'm cold and I'm doing.
So. And that's another thing he kept telling me to do is to breathe. while you're in there, because that shock of cold, you'll try to hold your breath. He said you can't do that. So it looked like I was just dying in there. 'Cause I'm like my respiratory system was. I thought I was failing. I'm like, I'm dying here. These guys are laughing at my pain. I'm dying in front of them.
I don't know if you said it slept you for that long. At first, I'm like, fuck that. But then you said that, I'm like, I gotta try this.
I don't know what it was. Definitely an experience. It was at first. It is a shock. I had to get out the first time to be like, I'm telling you. I felt like there was like some sort of fucking demon, some shit going through my face, going, I need to get the fuck out of this body that I'm trying to possess because it's too cold. Like I felt it was leaving me. Because it was like trying to escape through any crevice or something. And I'm like, I got to get the fuck out. And and once after I regrouped after that and got back in, it was cool. And no play on the words.
I wonder if like saying fuck it and just foot diving in, if that's better or not.
It depends. That's what I did the first time. But then again, that was my first time. So it was on top of quickly getting too much on me. And then and it's not as cold as they can get. You can get it to 30 degrees. That was 54. So it depends, man. And he said he's got it down to, I think, 50. Like he himself can stand up to 50 degrees. So Cobra says he slow stepped in using the side ladder. Oh, there's no side ladder. It's like a tub for your personal home. So he's like a little, like if you were laying in like a bathtub, but it's deep enough so you can get your whole body in. So you have to like go in like one leg over the other, and then slide in. So like your feet are already super cold by the time you get your body in, because there's no stopping that. But it was great. I definitely recommend doing that, because it was quite the experience, and you get a story out of it. Because I might be able to put it on YouTube, but I don't think I could do it on Twitch. My reaction, it's just me cursing and hoping that it ended quickly. And I think she didn't record the second time. The first time, though, the shock one, wild. So definitely, it definitely takes a lot out of you. Thursday was like a wash. I didn't even work out Thursday. I had to do a full body workout on Friday, because Thursday I'm like, no.
I would need music playing. Did you just go in like no
music?
Because
it was late. The whole plan was to go there at noon. And then quickly put up his mat, go and quickly put up the TV, and then go in like at 1 in the afternoon or 2 in the afternoon into the tub and leave. The TV took like 9 hours, and then at 10 o'clock at night, something like that, that's when I jumped in. So I couldn't make it like an event already. I just needed to get in, get it done, and leave, because I wanted to, get home. So, E-Man says in the chat, how was the Tekken 7 matches for Rando? He went, how big was this TV? It wasn't how big the TV is. It was how his house was set up. So he was mounting it on the outer, in his living room, but his living room was like in the corner of his house. So like the outside of your house is made out of concrete. And we at the time didn't know that they didn't put enough stud space in between that. It was just a little bit of stud space and then concrete. So we went through a whole shenanigan about it. And then Rando played on Tekken 7. He went 3-2 at Evo. And that's it for story time. I think those were the two big stories, with the hot tub and not hot tub, cold tub. It was get me the fuck out of there tub at first. It's wild.
I'd have to be blasting something that gives me courage, I think. I'd have to be listening to anything Chief Keef or Do-Rag Activity.
Brian, what I'm telling you, I don't know, I would say we're different people, but I had nothing. Like, I could barely decipher what they were saying to me, and they were inches away. Your sensory, it's like, bro, it's cold. Like, it's like your body's going into, like, survival mode immediately.
Yeah, I don't think I would last just because I'm always cold. Maybe
I mean, like, you probably can
to make it easier. I don't
know. Because I don't think cold that I take is like cold showers for the most part. And now that I lived through that experience, I'm like, this isn't the cold shower anymore. And compared to that, none. Just nothing. Did you go back in time when you got in it? I wish I could. I wish I went in there and came back before I decided to say yes to getting in the cold tub. I'm kidding. I like it. Did your pee-pee shrink even further? No, mine's already inverted inside. And sometimes you'll see the head when it's excited, but that's about it. and even that needs a microscopic lens to see. Microscope. I said something weird. I think, when was it? Over the weekend. I forgot what word it was, but it was really deep accent, like I was in character. And it was an accident. I forgot what the hell it was, though. Janelle laugh. Yeah. It does. Anywho. But that's that. I still, even though the first shock, wild, it definitely worth getting into like a cold tub or cold therapy or something. Like, it is, your body feels weird.
Game of the year?
In terms of cold tubs, it's the only one I've had, so yeah. Game of the year, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. Anywho. Oh, let me transition this into bodies, feeling, and whatever. Vinyl. I want to go into that real quick. Is a TV series that was unfortunately canceled. Has anyone tried X Defiant? I can't talk about that, and that's all I have to say about it. I think he did it on purpose, though. Maybe not. Hey, if you did try Defiant, you cannot say that you played it, so I have no comment. And that's that. Because there's like a strict NDA on it. What was I going to say? Vinyl. A canceled HBO show, which at first I didn't know was canceled. I thought it was just like a miniseries, because when I went to go look, I saw a trailer for it a while back, and I'm like, oh, it's set in the 1970s. Has to do with record label. I'm sure our boy Bobby Cannavale, I think his name is on there. He's in Mr. Robot. He's in not Peaky Blinders. Boardwalk Empire. He's in a bunch of stuff we've seen. He's great. And I'm like, oh, I'll add this to my backlog, and whenever I get to it, I get to it. So I finally got to it past like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh shit, only one season? I didn't know this was a miniseries. But then again, as I was watching the show, I'm like, there's no way that they wrap any of this shit up by the end of the season. So I was like, oh no, did they cancel the show? Absolutely. And sure enough, I looked it up. They canceled the show after the first season, which is sad because I enjoyed this first season a lot. I don't know why I don't know why they did it, because I enjoyed the characters. The vibe of it is produced by Martin Scorsese and Mick Jagger. And it's very 70s. They put music in the forefront. It's like a love letter to like 70s, like when the beginning of rock. There's funk music in it. It's great. They canceled 2 shows I was watching on there. Then I'm in that boat with you. Then they canceled the show I was watching. Vinyl was awesome. I don't know. The characters were great. It's one of those things where the main character has like a relationship with music. And if they cancel Green Lantern and Anthony, oh my god, yeah, then the world's going down. But anyway, the main character has. Let me preface this with something else, I guess. The first 2-3 episodes I watched on Cloud9, and it's a show about music, and I watched it with headphones on here. And the main character has this like a fixation with music. He loves music. That's his thing, which is Bobby's character, Brian from Mr. Robot.
Oh, Irving.
Irving, thank you. But yeah, it's his character.
Bobby.
That's his real name, Bobby Cannavale, I think it is. Anyway, I think it's Bobby, or maybe I'm just straight up fucking it all up. Let me double check. Can you imagine his name is like Rupert? Yeah, Bobby Cannavale. I got it right. Anywho. So yeah, it's definitely a fucking trip, dude. Like it's him owning the beginning starts with him owning it's his label that he made, American Century, and he was on the verge of selling it to some European shareholders or whatever, to someone. And then he has a drug addiction with cocaine and whatever. It's the 70s, so, and drinking and stuff. And the night before he was gonna, I think it was the night before, a couple of days before he was gonna sell it, he discovers a band called Nasty Bits. No, not Nasty Bits. He just discovers some rock band that's in there, and he felt that energy, and he was like coked out of his mind, and he was just feeling a face coked up. He looks like he was nutting in the middle of that concert. Yeah, it was like he was in it, because people were moshing. The rock song music was loud. I was feeling it too, because I was like I wasn't coked up, but like, you know, sensories were gone, and I'm like, yo, let's fucking get whatever song this is, right? and he had that to the point where like the building fell in the show. Like the building collapsed. That's how loud they were rocking in there. Anywho, so then he decides to keep to cancel the trade, which would fuck over his other partners, etc., etc. So now the aftermath of that happens throughout the season. Also, there's backstory of how he got to American Century, which actually fucks up one of his older friends called Lester. He's a fantastic singer that lost his voice in a specific way. If you watch it, you can. And it's great. The music that they play on there is fantastic. There's Motown songs. There's fucking rock. All of it's done great. I loved every episode. There was some sort of reference to like David Bowie or an old Motown singer or a bunch of classical like 50s, 60s, 70s artists. He ate Mentos with Diet Coke. Yeah. That'll probably help you, right? I mean, you'll get destroyed.
That's how you learn how to erase your gun.
Yeah. Eraser gun. I mean, that was spot on. Hire me, Dragon Ball.
That was really bad.
The anime? The anime can hire people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, your camera sorted out. Thanks. And I don't know. I highly recommend it. Again, it's hard to recommend something that was canceled because you don't know if I'm just full of shit. But for that one season, unfortunately, it's not going to continue. But it was great. I enjoyed my time with it. I was hoping more came, and then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, it really was canceled, and that made me sad. So I don't know if it'd be worth people watching it because the show was canceled, so there's no closure. But the one season I saw, it was awesome. I enjoyed it, especially for people who love older music or like music history. This was just cool to hear a bunch of songs that pertain to the actual like scene or the characters' issues or whatever situations. It was great.
Is it a heavy show like The Deuces?
Yes and no. There's some heavy parts in it, but a lot of it is focused on Richie, which is Bobby's character, making the dumb decisions, going in and out of the addiction of cocaine. A lot of it has to do with the A&R group trying to find bands. You see the dark side of the business where he's like in charge. He's like, no, we're gonna reimage you as a band because we fucking say like it's old label mentality. I mean, probably still label mentality, but you see that happen. So I'm like, oh, that's fairly informative for people like who are trying to come up in the business. Like they can do that to you, especially once you sign those dotted line. So I mean, it's definitely, I think for people who I'd recommend it. I just recommend watching it, whether you're into the music scene or not. It's, even though it's one season and was canceled, definitely. I'm just ripping my fucking pants apart here. And that was a quick one. I just want to give that one because I finished watching. I think yesterday we saw the finale. Go ahead, Brian.
Intro.
Thank you. Watched it every time. Granted, the first 3 times I watched the episode, Cloud 9, but it's just the show is called Vinyl, right? So the intro is a super precise zoomed in of the pinhead of a vinyl, and it's playing through the record, so you see it like the crevices going through it, and then they're like switching to like another track, so it's in between the crevices, and it just stays there silent for a bit, and then it builds up, and all you hear is as it goes, and then the rock starts playing afterwards. It's just a very cool like thematic intro, and you see like a bunch of like rock playing, like rockers in the background, people dancing in club, like it's the 70s life captured in that, and it was just, the intro is definitely worth it. Absolutely. Just because it was very creative in a way that I like, that stayed on the vinyl brand because it was on vinyl.
You gonna watch Narcos next yet?
Oh, that is something I need to watch, so maybe.
You said good intro, so I mean it's not what you said, but I've never skipped the intro because I like the song.
Okay, for this one, the song was fine. It's just it all worked together as an intro. Like it got you hyped for like, yo, you're watching a 70s show. It's hard hitting rock, that feeling that Richie's looking for.
When you say hard hitting rock, I don't know why. I just keep hearing "Brutal" by Olivia Rodrigo in my head. I don't know why. The
ba-na-na-na-na-na, like it's that kind of stuff, like old rock that was like all about the instrumentals and the vocals weren't like death metal, but it's like, I don't know, it's like the old rock. I don't know how to explain it. Like the Pink Floyds, and who else was mentioned on the show? There's a bunch of people that were mentioned on there. Anywho, That was that. Randall. We saw Jungle Cruise with The Rock and Emily Blunt. Or Dwayne Johnson. Does he prefer to be called Dwayne now that he's not
Never
doing...
met him.
Oh. I don't know if he's... I'm Purple Floyd. That's the real... That's the artist, Purple Floyd. That's the lean Floyd. See what I did there? Look it up. Anyway. Yeah, so Jungle Cruise. Randall, thoughts? Prayers? What are your thoughts on this?
It was alright. Another Disney movie.
I thought about the same thing. It's a very... I don't know if cookie cutter is the right word for it, but it's a very feel-good family adventure. Right? I would imagine that's like... my friend was doing a story about that movie and cut himself just to say it was a shitty movie before he proceeded with the story. I wouldn't say shitty. That would be a bad description. It's just a family adventure movie. It's like they tried to do Adventures of Tintin in live action. That's the closest comparison I can do. You saw the Adventures of Tintin, the CG one? I think watching that entire movie, I'm like, they wanted to do a live action version of that. Go ahead.
Tintin's transitions to scenes?
Yeah.
Forked, right? Did this one do anything like that?
It wasn't the same level of transitions, no.
But they tried to?
No. Like they didn't try. They didn't like explicitly or blatantly try to be Adventures of Tintin, but it was like an adventure. Like watching this, I can think of Uncharted, Adventures of Tintin, Lara, like Indiana Jones. Like it was an adventure movie about a legend that only people knew about, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was that whole aesthetic. Yeah, like, Shambhala doesn't exist. I've looked through all these planes. It doesn't really exist. It's just a story. But what do you explain this? And they have like some fucking relic from whatever.
A giraffe laughing.
Yeah, and it's like, oh shit, so it is real. And then they go on and search for it. And of course, the bad guys want it too because they can benefit from it. Remember the kid from Breaking Bad, Brian? That also has an episode of Black Mirror as a space captain. He's like a ginger kid.
The blonde guy.
He's in this as the antagonist.
He's a kid. You talking about the guy that ends up shooting the kid in Breaking Bad? Spoiler.
I don't know why. I think he's a kid in that show. Maybe he looked younger. I don't know what the issue is, but he's grown now, I guess. Because he was always like a teenager, right, in Breaking Bad?
He's a whole adult.
Oh, I thought he was like a teenager or something.
No.
Anywho, it's that guy. He's in here as an antagonist playing a German.
An accent?
Yes, he does really well. He does really well with it. I think everyone did their parts right. The chemistry between Emily Blunt and The Rock was fine. Right. What are you thinking? Chemistry between the two people in leads, Emily's, and even the brother, the Emily's Blunt character brother, had a pretty good dialogue, quips with you know. Did you enjoy yourself with it, Randall?
It was decent.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he's shortening it, but it's fine. Like I wouldn't say like Eman's Eman's friend says shitty. I wouldn't say shitty. It's just fine.
It wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah, it did what it set out to do. It's a family movie, adventure, there's some action in it. I mean, there's blatant like CG everywhere that you can see, but I think this might have been recorded during COVID times, so I'm sure they had their challenges with that. Throw a stun grenade in Randall's room? What the hell? Why would I throw a stun grenade? He's not there right now.
Just in his room.
I don't know if there are any follow-up, like, to wake him up. Oh, I see. But he's not in his room. This is all one room. I'm in the same room he's in.
For now.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, but I think it's a very cookie-cutter adventure film. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like, yo, go. This is a Brian review, but it does what it set out to do, and it did it fine, you know? What are you going to say, Brian? Music?
Is it... I mean, yeah, I wasn't, but now that you mention it.
Fine. This guy fucking hates it. Next. Joe, I didn't hate it. I had a fantastic time. Me and Diana watched it downstairs. It was great. Not great. I mean, at the time, we had a great time watching it, but it wasn't it wasn't tinted. Like I was imagining other adventure movies, not imagining it, but like I was comparing it to other adventure movies, and other adventure movies had more of a charm.
Lucky?
Like a Lucky Charm, yeah. They had like a Lucky Charm, and these just, it was right down the middle, is all. Safe would be the word, maybe? Would you agree? No?
Mm-hmm.
I would say safe, maybe. Definitely worth watching, though. It's like, if you're looking for...
to watch again?
Yeah, I have no problems watching it again. It's not something like, it was so bad. Like, I'd watch Jungle Cruise again. It's just a fine adventure movie. The arcs were okay. Some of the twists were okay. I guess it's like, it makes sense. Everything just made somewhat sense in this world of magic and curses and legends and shit. And that's about it. For Jungle Cruise, I definitely recommend it. It's just a okay time. It's something to watch, especially for a family. Kids can watch it. I don't think they do anything inappropriate in it that I remember. I think that's it, yeah. And again, some of the CG was like, because they were like green screened in front of like something else, and that some of that was apparent. But some of the effects they used on the characters were really cool looking because of the legend and the curses they were put on them. So those were sometimes pretty cool. Like when he gets cut in the face and the shit comes out. I thought that was really cool. Anyway. Yes, if you don't like snakes and stuff, this will probably, hit you in the soft spot. Anywho, that was nice and quick. We have nice and quick ones today, I think, right? Like,
probably, yeah, there's not too much on there.
That's true. All right, Brian. We went back for blood. Like we left for the dead, and now we came back for blood. All right.
Oh shit.
Back for Blood open beta this weekend. I think it's over now. I don't think it's available for people to play anymore.
It ends the 9th. I don't know if that means end of day or it ended at 1 or something.
It might have ended like at 1 p.m. or something. Anywho, the developers, Turtle Rock, some of the developers from Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, or maybe just Left 4 Dead 1, got together, and I think this is the same people who made, what was that 4v1 game?
Evolve.
They're like, let's just stick to our roots and make a Left 4 Dead. So they did. Back for Blood's out. Not out. The beta was out. Me, Brian, and Janana played through it on stream, and I loved every second of it. It is Left 4 Dead with added randomness that I like, added builds, added gun parts that you can. It's basically classes you can build with decks. So you can
even each character is like a class.
Yeah, because they
different passives and teams.
Yep, they have their own. Each character has their own passive they brings to that you can for the team, or you can build them for yourself. It's the same formula. You get from safe house to safe house with different objectives in between those safe houses, and you try to survive with your teammates. A lot of the enemies and stuff are procedurally generated, and I don't know if they still have that director AI like they used in Left 4 Dead 1 or 2, but every run will be different. The zombies are placed differently. The crows are placed different places. The special zombies are spawned different rates. Now the randomness is guns you can pick up from the ground, which I think that was the thing before anyway. But now there's attachments for your guns that you can pick that are different rarity that help improve your gun in different ways, and those are dropped randomly. Or you can shop in between the runs, but like between safe houses, so you can, like, if you accrue cash by finding it in the level. Or how else do you accrue cash? Oh, the challenges, right?
Yeah.
You think you can't drop the attachments once put on? That is one of my gripes. You can drop all your guns, all the items and stuff, but you can't drop an individual attachment unless you swap it out. Like, so let's say you have a green magazine currently equipped, and you find a blue one, and you're like, oh, that's better than mine, I'm gonna swap it. The green one you had on drops. That's the only way to drop it, unfortunately. Hopefully granted, that's not a difficult thing to add. I'm sure they probably saw them like, oh, we might have just overseen this, not noticed it. So either a future patch or something, that's a fix. The same way you can drop everything, you should be able to drop that too.
I feel like part of me thinks it's something they overlooked, but the majority of me thinks that they did that on purpose as an incentive to have to switch guns instead of keep upgrading the same one.
That could be. That also could be a reason. But it depends, because I mean, again, it wouldn't hurt them. Give the player the option.
Don't like it though.
Yeah, I also don't like that you couldn't drop the attachments, but that's like a minor gripe for me. What else was? There was something else. Damn, there was another like minor gripe I didn't like about it. That came up. I forgot what it was.
I don't like how slow the aim down sight speed is. Even when you get like the upgrades, or like you put the attachments, it still feels like, all right, there's a guy right there, aim down sight. Oh shit, they're dead.
I think that was done purposely because of cards, because you can make a build for ADS speed or whatever, and I think there's a stat for mobility depending on the gun, because not all guns go that slowly.
I think it's just another like you moving with it.
I don't know. I'm sure that's a stat on there. That's why they want to make as many cards as possible, because obviously you can't just have that. The bullet effect from the auto shotty looked like they came from the sides. I remember you mentioning that. Oh yeah, visually some of the shots that didn't line up with the 3D model, which again, for me, not a huge thing. These are aesthetic looks, not the gameplay stuff. The guns felt fine. Like on base, they had recoil, and you're like, oh shit, I need to get this upgraded. Once you have them upgraded, they start feeling like lasers, which I guess you earned it because you have all the attachments to make it feel that way. But just keeping the recoil seems, I think, would at least enough to be like, okay, it's better, but there's still some on there that will give you like incentive to pick a different gun that has less, or whatever the case is.
I felt like I didn't use much guns, right? But the guns I use are all shotguns, essentially.
Of course.
Meleeing for the 80% of the time, the other side was shotguns. Each shotgun just feels like the only difference is the clip size. Clip size and reload speed. They don't feel like, once you get attachment stuff, they don't really feel too different from each other.
I think it builds to like, oh, this is shotgun. Like, this is optimal shot. I think all the guns build up to optimal of this type of gun. If that makes sense, which maybe slight stats difference, but not enough where you're not playing competitively because you're just shooting at like mindless zombies running at you, unless it's like a special one. But usually if there's a special one, all the teammates are shooting at it, unless you get our team AI teammate who's just getting bodied by one. That's my other gripe. AI, holy shit, we had our AI teammate die from one regular zombie. What? Like, obviously this game is incentivized to play with your friends and stuff, but if one, you don't have friends, two, you don't want to play with other people because maybe bandwidth limited or whatever the case is, if you just want to play by yourself, make the AI competent. Like, these guys were dumb. And another thing I didn't like about the AI is there was a lot of AI navigation, like the nav meshes they use. I don't know if it's messed up or not, but this, like, the millisecond they can't advance and the AI starts going crazy, it just warps them to the location. And I'm like, I don't like that. Because, I mean, the AI is supposed to be smart enough to navigate through the fucking level. So if you're far away from him, it should be, oh shit, I need to follow him and navigate over there, not teleport to you. That was the other thing that I didn't like. Besides that, I wish the big boss was a little more dynamic. Remember the one that was following us through the thing? I think that's scripted. And as much as I like those crazy over the top stuff, I like the dynamic, the other dynamic zombies, like the wall, the baby wall thing that comes out and just jumps out at you if you get too close, if you don't shoot it. The bomber guy, like all those dynamics that come up randomly is cool. But the scripted one, I was like, oh, that's cool-ish, but I don't want more. Like, if you can put him dynamic in all the other levels, that'd be great. Like, just coming up randomly.
Like a lot of the special class zombies, if you compare it to Left 4 Dead, they felt like essentially there's no fear besides maybe the guy who masturbates, the one with the big arm. But like the spitters or whatever, I see them like, oh, there he is, and I kill it. The fat guy's just like, oh, there's a fat. If he's close to you, like, oh shit. If you see him, you're like, there's no worry. with
And
a
I
lot
think
of these things.
And I think that lends itself to AI again, because like, and in Left 4 Dead, like the AI for like the jumper guys, he's always jumping at like if you've seen him, he's already mid-air coming at you. That's when you see him.
And it's frightening. Like if you're just walking, shooting, and all of a sudden
you see a hooded dude like crawl down, you're like fuck, and you start
just
shooting.
randomly jumps on you and he just clawing you. Like what the like this doesn't really feel like it had any. Oh, what the fuck?
It was just here they are, like even like hitting the birds. Again, we played this on the normal difficulty. I'm not sure how it feels like on a hard difficulty with friendly fire and stuff like that, because Left 4 Dead had friendly fire, I think, on any of them. Yeah, Cobra just recently mentioned that and probably also difficulty. I've seen people play on Nightmare. That's a whole different level. That's what there might be that. Like a normal is just, hey, get your feet wet, learn how the mechanics go, and then like the real AI kicks in on a harder difficulty, which is fine, I guess, because I mean there was parts of the story that we were playing that I think we wiped once, right?
Yeah.
And that was near the end of the
looking place.
Because we got overwhelmed with some weird shit.
And we had it's just us and a teammate who literally, I watched this happen. Just sitting there and one zombie's clawing her and she's just like, I'm down.
Yeah, and it became a hindrance because we had to go and help her, and that got us killed. Top aim players dying over and over on Nightmare. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, because even when we died in that moment, if like you need to either like collaborate there in such a way where everyone can help each other, or we like on a harder difficulty, I can imagine you can't just play like I play on normal, which is just run in there, kill shit, and move on. So, and then a gripe for I know Janiana was mentioning this, so I'll say it for her. She didn't like that you can only have one primary weapon. So I'll put that on there as well. She likes having as many primary weapons as she wants. Fix it, Turtle Rock.
The weapons already feel like the weapon system already feels like Apex. I was kind of hoping what weapons you hold also felt like that. It's just you have 2 slots, pick whatever.
Oh, right.
I mean, that might be broken.
It might be, because a shotgun with like an assault rifle in that game, come on. I think it would break a lot of the difficulty.
I mean, you can already have a shotgun sidearm.
But it only shoots twice, right?
To one, and then it pumps it again.
Yeah, like I'm sure they took that into account. Anyway, but I don't know. I mean, I had a blast running through it. I was going to run through it again. Like, I can't wait to play the rest of the campaigns. Unlock all the... Like, they have I don't know if it's battle passes or whatever. Like, you find supply points as you play the game, and then you can unlock different cards through, like, these passes and stuff that you can use to make your own decks. Now, these decks work in between save... You get our next shot on the 12th, open beta. But if it's the same level, then I'm fine, because I don't think the progress is gonna save over. So I'm just redoing it again for no reason. Well, obviously for the fun of the game, but
burnt out before you get it.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to get burnt out before it comes out. Bars? I mean, that's the same word. That's not really rhyming. What was I saying before this?
Decks.
The decks. So you basically get up to each deck can go up to 15 cards to hold, and in between safe house, like once you reach a safe house, it's like, oh, mission chapter complete, whatever. Now it's time to start the next one. Well, you get a random card from your deck to choose to apply to your character or team, depending on what type of card it is. Like, I think Brian did the self-healing build where it's like on melee, you get 2 health back. So that came up randomly from his deck that he prepared prior to starting this campaign, and he selected that, bam, and from then on, he has that ability. You can put ones that stack on top of each other, like you get +5 health. So if you get that over and over and over again, bam, you can get like an extra 30 by the time you get to the last boss or the last chapter of the act or whatever it is. So I like that because it'll randomly change what you can make different builds depending on the character you're using, or you can just try random stuff. It adds more variety, more randomness, which I liked, because that's what Left 4 Dead was great for. It's a zombie game you can replay over, because the level is structurally the same, but the enemies you encounter can be placed differently. It's small randomness. And same with the cards, the guns, the coins and gold you can find around the world that you can use to buy new things on the next safe house, or attachments you find randomly. And then there's broken attachment, I think you said, Brian. So, which is why and that might be another reason why they don't let you drop attachments. Because if you find a gun with a broken attachment, you would just drop it immediately. The attachment. Yeah, but can I mod this so I'm Hatsune Miku with an AK? Most likely, because it's gonna be on Steam. And knowing these guys, they'll probably support Steam Workshop, perhaps.
The thing that worries me about this game, and with a lot of Turtle Rock games, is the gameplay is never the questionable part. It's how much of the game can you play before it fatigues you.
Yeah.
So like with Left 4 Dead, the game's fun. You beat it once or twice or 3 times, like, what are we gonna do? Oh, the same thing again, evolve. This is a cool idea. I unlocked everybody. I fought all the monsters already. I've played every character already. What's new here?
Yeah, it had to be just, you have to play it for the love of it. Like, you have to love it. It depends on how much you love it after a while. Because, I mean, that can be said for any game, because TF2, I mean, there's only 9 classes. Granted, they added weapons later on to change how to play those characters, but after a while, I was like, I just like playing it. With this, I kind of feel like there's some replayability, because you can unlock all the cards. But then after that, I kind of agree. Once you unlock all the cards and go through all the stuff, I don't know what's next. And then mods helped me play Left 4 Dead 2 a lot more, yeah, because you can change either the way it looks, behavior of AI, change how the zombies look like. I think I've seen a Stormtrooper one.
I had the Stormtrooper one.
I think somebody changed the tank to be Thomas the Tank in one of the mods.
Whenever the tank showed up, I had Guile's theme play, and whenever the Boomer came up, I had Mr. Boombastic by Shaggy play.
There you go. And Left 4 Dead 2 had custom campaigns, so yeah, you can actually make maps and things. So like that's
custom servers and things. There was a server in Left 4 Dead 2 where someone made it so it was like an RPG. So you'd shoot, you had stats essentially, so you could do less damage than other people. Mm-hmm. You killed enough things, you had XP and you leveled up, and then you could put it into a stat, like a stat point.
Gotcha.
That was really cool.
So yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I think what happens after we've completed the game is what's gonna decide if this game stays or not. Like, granted, they could add characters and stuff with different passives, but I don't know how they'll, like, depending how much they charge for that too. We'll see.
Yeah.
Or Donkey Kong as a tank. Yeah, I've seen that one too.
That's one of my concerns, is how much content we're actually gonna get for the $60 price. And they already announced a battle pass or a season pass, and behind it is content drops with new story, playable characters, special mutated, written, and more. And what worries me about that is how much of it's going to be behind a paywall. How much of this are they going to just let us play, and how much is this battle pass cost? How much
$30.
How much is going to be included in each pass? Are they going to do multiple passes? How much are they going to charge me to play the same thing over, essentially?
When the mod community can be there to add more.
Yeah, so, especially it being $60, and then they're already putting stuff behind a season pass like that, like a whole new story and special enemies.
Max edition is 100 quid. Is that quid?
Pound.
Euros? Pounds?
Euro? I don't know. One of them.
Which is my opinion too much. They're Euro. Damn it. I don't know. I thought it was quid. Yeah. Those are AAA prices. I mean, that's regular prices for pre-order at this point. Like, hey, you want the Ultimate Edition? Like almost all the Ubisoft games. Oh, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the one with the season pass is already like $90, $100. I'm assuming the Max Edition comes with the game and the season pass. So I mean, that kind of checks out.
The deluxe one is standard game. Deluxe is game season pass. And you get to play the game 4 days earlier than other people. The Ultimate is game, play 4 days earlier, season pass, exclusive skins, which was another thing I hope for or complain about, and then in-game banners and emblems and things. The other thing that I wish they did, but them just saying, hey, skin packs, is I wish they did customization in this game aesthetically, the way Dota does it, and not how everything else does it, where your customization is one whole pack. Can't put different things on. Whereas in Dota, you can put headpieces, armor, like your weapon's different. I was hoping it was like that, but this kind of makes it seem like it's the other way around.
It's just going to be full skins, like full. Yeah. Which again, I don't know how. Hopefully they allowed mod support, but that would kind of cut into their DLC cost, because I mean, at that point, who's gonna want to buy the DLC when they can just mod it to look however they want?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Gameplay's fun. I had a fantastic time with it. It depends longevity. What's the word? Longevity. That's the word. We'll see how long it lasts, because it was definitely fun. And me going through all the campaigns in a month, like every weekend or something, and then what do we do? You know?
It's on Game Pass, so I don't think I'm gonna buy it outright.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't let me do crossplay between Game Pass and Steam, I might be like, yo, fuck it. But because
it says crossplay day one, so I don't see why it wouldn't work.
I don't know. But like them already committing to putting such content, like even special enemies behind the annual pass, is like, I don't know. Me knowing how long their games last for me, and then doing stuff like that, I'm like, gameplay's fun, but don't want to pay this much to replay the game, essentially.
Yep. Do the characters they add change up the game in a significant way? Or maybe they add mechanics to do so later on. Maybe more weapons, more attachments or something.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. Again, open beta, great impression so far. If you don't play that much, wait for a sale. That's also true.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do with the Game Pass. Or unless everyone I know is playing on Steam, they're just giggling without me, and I'm like, you know what?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. Well then, that was Back for Blood. First impressions were great. I had a fantastic time. Easy accessible. I mean, granted, there's a bunch of like card stuff for you, but you can just click through that and move on and play it on normal and just have a good time. So, Back for Blood. All right. It looks like Back for Blood is having a beta access registration. Yeah, Cobra said it's going to be another one for the 12th. So in a few days, I guess. So if you haven't played it, I recommend playing it. It's a fun time. Okay. Randalius. New Gods. Nezha Reborn. How did you get to this movie? Where did you see this movie?
What do you mean? Where did I see it?
Yeah, like were you anticipating this at all? I don't know. I've seen this. I don't know what this is.
Yes.
All right, well, talk to me about it. 3,000 years after the boy god Nezha conquers the Dragon King, then disappears in mythological times, he returns as an ordinary man to find his own path to becoming a true hero. What?
So it's about dragon gods, and the movie's centered around one called Nezha.
Okay.
And he's the main character. He's pretty much every few years or thousands of years, he's reincarnated, and he's typically a bad guy, but this time around it's supposed to be different because of the person he's reincarnated into.
Okay.
That's pretty much the movie.
Is it CG or is this?
Yeah, it's all CG.
Nice. Who is this on Netflix? All right. How was it? How was it? Well, I mean, you art background. How was the CG here? Did you enjoy the visuals at all? Good renders, animation.
Everything was really good. Really, really good. The CG was good. The animation was good. The fight was good.
Like the choreo, they had like CQC fights and stuff.
No, martial arts with powers.
Oh, okay. What was it like? Cool, like particle effects and shit, like with fire and like. Mm-hmm. Is it elemental at all, or is it all just like fire dragons, or is it like a water, earth?
It's everything.
Oh. It is one of those like, hey, they might make a series out of this because it's like a movie, but I don't know if it's.
There was one previous to it.
Just as good or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just called New Gods, or hold on. How do I know who the first one is?
It's called Nezha.
Oh, it's just called Nezha? How do you spell that?
The same way it's up there.
Oh, yeah. Nezha? I thought it was Nezha.
Nah.
Also on nope, that did not come up. Why? Well, I'm gonna figure it out later, I guess. All right, so it sounds like it's a fun. Oh, was it English dubbed or subbed?
You can watch it with English audio, but I watched it with the original Japanese audio with subtitles.
Did you give the English one a shot and then switched over, or you just went straight to?
I just went straight to Japanese.
Oh, okay. I might watch it in English to see how that worked out. If the voice actors do it justice, I guess. But I'm assuming the Japanese one did great.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like heavy scenes in it, or is it just like very hero stuff and action?
It's intense. It's like really intense.
They got some drama in it.
A lot of shocking moments.
Okay.
Really like heartfelt moments. Like it's just doesn't pull any punches. It's just like some really bad stuff happens.
Okay. Sounds like you liked it full. You like this is going to be in your top 10.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, then do you recommend this?
Definitely.
Definitely.
I mean, I for the type of stuff that I'm into, yeah. But I don't know if you guys will like it or not.
I mean, you're saying the CG is great. There's martial arts and with good CQC. There's better pizza apparently. It's like the fight scenes are not like the crazy American Hollywood quick cuts. It's like long takes.
I mean, there's quick cuts, but you still get to see you see what they're doing.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, but how is the eye candy? Any dudes with shirts off?
There's a couple of scenes.
There you go. Sold. Kelsey's gonna watch it now. All right, then it sounds like it's a recommendation then for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think. Well, he might just straight up hate it. This is his way of getting us to watch it, so we can hate it with him. New Gods, Nezha. What is it? How do you pronounce it? Nezha Reborn. Okay. Netflix video. Well, I'm gonna watch that then. Put it in the backlog. Ooh, Brian. Dave East.
Mm-hmm.
You listed some of his music. Is this a single or a project? Okay. And it's called Hoffa. Or Hoffa.
That's Hoffa. You got it.
Okay.
It's like Jimmy Hoffa. Was he an accountant or is he a mobster? I don't remember. Back in the day.
That sounds like a mobster.
Yeah. So a friend of mine sent me a single he released earlier this year called Diamonds, and I like Davies. I don't follow him heavy, but anytime I hear him, I'm like, I like this.
If his record hits your table, you'll give it a listen.
Yeah, heard the Diamonds single. I like it. Only complaint is when people do sample-based instrumentals. I don't like when the sample competes with the main vocal. And that song that happens quite a few times, but I liked the instrumental and I liked his performance on it. I liked it. Right.
Okay.
Then like a week or two later, hey, my album's out. I was like, oh shit.
Okay.
I ended up listening to it. It's 14 minutes. It's 14 minutes. Am I stupid? 14 songs, 40 minutes. Right.
Uh-huh.
I hearted 5 songs. I had to listen to it twice because I accidentally listened to it on shuffle. I'm like, it's a weird ass order, and I saw shuffle was on, so then I played it back again.
Okay. Does it get the flow of the project?
Yeah. Overall, it's solid. Just because I didn't heart it doesn't mean the song was ass, but like it was like okay. A lot of the songs sound similar, and it kind of sounds like he's just rapping to show that he can rap on these. Some of them he's telling stories. Like I think it was Uncle Rick. He's talking about his uncle.
Rick.
What is it? There's a few other ones where he actually tells stories on it, but for the most part, it's just him rapping to show he can rap on like a kind of like a new age boom bappy instrumental. A lot of it. The song with G Herbo on it. It's probably one of the few that I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Was that like a skip? Like you're in the middle of it and you said, nah, I'm good and skip?
I heard it through both times just in case I just maybe heard it wrong.
Okay.
But it's not for me. A complaint off rip is It ends with Red Fox Restaurant. That's the name of the song, and it features Currency. I thoroughly enjoy Currency. I don't listen to him like a diehard, but when I hear him, I usually like him. The instrumental's good. Davies' part's good. He's easy to hear. For whatever reason, whoever mixes just was having some kind of beef with Currency that day, and a lot of times the sample's louder than him.
Ugh. And it's a vocal sample.
Yeah, like actually, I don't know if it's a vocal sample or not, or just the instrumental itself. At times, like the instrument, either I think it's a piano, just louder than him.
Ugh.
It's a good way to end the album. It's a good song, but it's just I don't know why I didn't give it an extra listen afterwards. Oh, I can barely hear him.
And then just fix that real quick.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
I'm sorry. There's two songs I'm like, I don't want to hear this again. It was the Giro one, and there's one French Montana called "Count It Up." It seems like they just brainstormed ideas and recorded them, and they never made a full song. It's just a bunch of random shit. The chorus is
like a flex verse, or like
it just doesn't sound cohesive. It just sounds like everybody just like got a Mad Lib and filled it out, and like this is what I'm gonna do for this part.
Oh, so it's just like it's just get hyped. They went to the mic, said something that sounded whatever, and then like, hey, you're up next, and then they just
it did not feel like something I want to hear again.
Okay.
The songs that ended up liking was The Disappearance. That's the first song. Diamonds. Okay. He has a decent amount of features on here. So the first song, the third song, Diamonds, which is the first song I heard that was going to be on this album.
Okay.
Money or Power, and Jim Jones is on that from Dipset.
Jim Jones is on it with an actual verse, or is he just like in the background? Verse. Oh.
I don't know how to pronounce this. It's the first time I've heard this person. It's spelled Cruch, which I guess that's Crush, and their last name's Calhoun. It's a song called "The Win," and this was one of my favorites as well.
Okay.
And then it ends with Red Fox Restaurant, which minus the Currency complaint of him being too quiet, like mix wise, I think it's probably my favorite. So between that and Diamonds are my favorite two songs on there. And then The Win would be third, I guess.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say if you like rap, if you like boom bap or just New Yorker rap, I don't see why you wouldn't listen to this. It's 40 minutes.
I have to check it out then. I'm gonna check this out.
This Harry Fraud is the guy's name. He produced every song on this album.
Harry Fraud?
Yeah, like Harry, as in like Harry Potter, and
Harry Potter. Spelled like fraud.
Like fraud, yeah.
Okay.
You can tell it's the same person. It says its name like next to Davies' name per song, but even if it didn't show that, you could tell the same person made this because it all sounds within the ballpark of itself.
Okay, which is good. I mean, a whole project full of it makes it more cohesive.
I like his production. He did a good job.
All right.
I don't know if he also mixed it.
Oh, I mean, you can probably look it up on the Spotify. Right click under the details. It should tell you who mixes it, right?
I don't know. Produced by Harry Fraud. Spoilers.
Yeah.
It doesn't say who mixed it. It says performed, written, and produced by.
Oh, okay.
3.
Then maybe Music Brains. If you go to musicbrains.org, you could probably look it up.
You like boom bap beats? You like rap? You like New Yorkers? You like all those 3 things? You'll probably like it. Give it a listen. It's only 40 minutes.
Okay. That sounds like I'm going to listen to that. Gym music or no? Like boom bap? Okay. Like high energy, we out here, we're going to lift cars, gym music, or?
The thing about like boom bap New York rappers, I mean, he's done more music than that. He's done like trap music. I think some of these are trappy sounding, but for the most part, there's like a boom bap 90s kind of feel on the way he raps and the instrumentals.
Okay.
You can work out to this if that's your thing. Like if you go to the gym and listen to fucking Nas or you listen to Jadakiss, you could throw this in there.
Oh, okay. Fits right in.
One thing I like
a glove.
The Dave East. A lot of people within like the subgenres start to sound similar unless they're like a star, like the exception. So like I don't think you'll ever confuse somebody for Nas. You would never confuse. You hear Jay-Z, like that sounds like it's Jay-Z.
It's Jay-Z, yeah.
Dave East has a voice like that.
Okay.
Like the way he speaks or just something about it, you can tell it's him.
I get that.
Which I like. That's why I like. That's another reason why I like listening to him.
That's fair. I mean, it's a unique voice. Or like Game. Like, if you know it's Game because he sounds like he's going to murder someone.
Mm-hmm. Just from it, yeah.
Like, that's... Okay. That sounds good to me. I have to check it out then. It's kind of... It's not hyped, but I'm excited to give it a listen then. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah. It's not like my album of the year or my game of the year, but it's nice. It's easy to listen to, and it deserves praise.
Gotcha. Okay. I, during my break, played through Cloudpunk, an indie game where you play Rania, I think her name was, a delivery, like a package delivery person for a company called Cloudpunk. You don't open the box, you don't ask questions, you just deliver the package.
You know what's behind that door?
You don't want to know what's behind that door.
You know who made those bones?
You don't want to know who made those bones. Anywho, but it's that. It starts off as that. Along the way, you start meeting the people, like Control is the person who gives you the packages, so it gives you your objectives. It's a narrative game. There's not a bunch of action. I don't pick up a gun and start getting in the mob. You meet mobsters, like you get intertwined with the bullshit that's happening in the city. Navalis is the name of the city. The game was normally third person, and then they released a first person mod like update to it, so you can play the game first person, which is why I'm like, buying it, because give us the option, guys. All right, some of us don't like looking at our characters. All right, I want to be the guy, you know. I never finished that game. There is a DLC for it, I believe. Yes, it's called City of Ghosts. I haven't done the DLC. This is just a review on the base game. And it's a very zen narrative game. Like, there's some time, but like late in the game, there's some timed missions where you have to get to a certain spot in a certain amount of time. But it's a very easy, accessible. You're there to meet the characters of the world, where you can drive, you can fly anywhere, go to different sections of the city, park, walk around, buy something to eat, collect a bunch of the collectibles. Atmosphere is great though. That is something that this game nails to the fucking wood, to the ground. You feel like you're in a like a cyberpunk Cloudpunk thing. Even when you get in your car and you you use the thrusters to get up and it's always raining. In this game, it's raining because it takes place
nighttime?
Yes, because it takes place during one night. The story takes place over one night, so it's raining constantly. You can fill up gas, you can repair your car, you can put different tracers on your Cloudpunk thing. As you're zooming around, there's a bunch of traffic flying around. Blade Runner versus Cyberpunk. Yeah, this is like, I think more Blade Runner than Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk is still very modern civilization. Like, there's still cars, there's like motorcycles and stuff. This is like true, we're in the future, like flying cars. You hover over shit, you park, you land your thing, you get out. There's there's androids living, like there's history in this world that you learn little by little. Like there was I don't know if it was a civil war, but there was like a war between the androids and the humans that they finally won to gain their independence. So now androids are independent as well, which I guess is kind of where we're heading now. Because as soon as we start making androids, we're gonna think that we own them, and then they're gonna be like no, and then not you. I'm saying the world.
I side with the androids. They're beings too, damn it.
Speaking of which, my favorite character is Huxley. Huxley is a very old, almost effective PI android who talks in third, like he's narrating an LA noir, like a noir story. So like, let's say Brian asked me like, so where do you come from? The kid didn't know where I came from, but when I wanted to tell him was like, that's how he speaks the entire time. Like, he's just narrating it. Where is Pashta? Like, I couldn't bear to tell her where the kid was. But the voice acting's great. The characters are memorable. There's automatas that's basically like programs that run in different shells. I guess spoiler alert, but you have an automata called Camus, and he's a dog. And imagine a dog talking to you. That's the type of character he is.
That's what this podcast is. I'm a
what?
dog.
Oh, got it. So like Bounty of Blood? Sort of like that, but it's familiar. That's the Devil Riders. It's like that, but not Southern. It's like a New York noir, like a detective voice.
I says to him.
Yeah, it says to like that character is my favorite. It's Huxley. And there's everyone has all the characters you meet have a nice little arc. Like let's say Brian he called Cloudpunk and bam, I have to deliver his package. He'll come up later in the story as like because there's decision making in this story too. Like sometimes you'll see them again, sometimes you don't. You can make decisions where like this package sounds like a fucking bomb. Do I throw it away or do I still deliver it? Things like that. Like you go to like high royalty places, go down to the slums. Like Navalis is a fully like realized, like by the end of it I'm like, oh, okay, this is a real place. Like they took care into world building in this and characters. Like it's not like you are the one, you are the hero. It's like you live in this fucking cloud like cyberpunk ass like world and you're just doing your job if you want. And playing in first person is fantastic because sometimes I'll just like sit there and just you can hear the rain hitting your windshield and it's just the UI is like built into your car, so like the radar is right there. When someone calls you, it comes up on this thing. It's great. I mean, it has like a very voxel look to it. Like everything looks like Minecraft's like everything's blocks. But when you start looking around at like all the buildings that are made like this, it kind of like hides in that mist because there's a lot of like contrast with the neon lights and the flying hover cars that you see flying by. There's worker bots. Like if you land and start walking around, they're trying to clean up the streets. It's small details like that. Like they built it where like you feel like you're in it, and that's great. I don't know. I loved it. There's not a lot of shooting. There's no shooting at all. Right? There's no like a bunch of action. It's just, but there's not. That doesn't mean there's lacks any tense moments because you do have to make decisions. You meet characters that puts you like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to owe this guy something later on, or like there is like mystery and stuff like that without having to pick up a gun or anything. So I definitely highly recommend this for anyone who likes that aesthetic, the cyberpunk aesthetic. If you want a very heavily narrative game or like character driven dialogue heavy games, this is definitely that. I had a great time with it. I'm in the middle of uploading my full playthrough of it, which is like 8 hours or something, as one video, because I've seen some YouTube channels do that and I want to see how that turns out from myself, but it's like a huge upload, so we'll see when I get it up there, but we'll see. I recorded it with no commentary either, like, so it's just gameplay. You're not gonna hear my voice, but you'll see moments in it where I'm like, I can't drive, so my parking skills are like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And you can already hear me going, okay, well. But anyway, that's just a recording thing I'm trying to figure out for later stuff. Like stream it with my commentary and then splice that up as like pieces episode. And then in the background record stuff without my commentary and just put a full playthrough without it. I've seen channels do that before and I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. That way you get both, best of both worlds. So people like don't like to watch commentary, they just want to watch the game. Anywho, but Cloudpunk. Great time, very zen. Some like maybe one or only a couple like time to base deliveries and stuff that you're like, oh shit, I gotta get there in time. But the rest of it, it's very not apologetic. What's the word?
What are you trying to say?
Like very easy going. Like it's not like a hard ass on like, oh, get this delivered. It's not like nagging you about it. It's just it shows up on your top right. It's more laid back, yeah. Like it's not like your delivery service, but it's not counting how long it takes you to get there. Like you can take on whichever package you need to do or side mission that you find as you're walking around or flying around. It's great. I highly recommend it. I don't know if it's on sale or not, but it's a great indie game. And I haven't played the DLC, so I can't comment on that. I heard it's a lot more story content, so we'll see. And then the end of the game ends with a major choice, so that gets built up to it. So how you want to end it depends on you.
I'm not gonna try that.
Go ahead.
I want to try that game, and also it's probably similar. There's a game that's like cyberpunky, and you're a bartender, and you just talk to clients and serve them drinks and things. And
yes,
it looks like a fun time.
Johan mentioned this. I think it's called Valhalla.
That sounds familiar.
But with ones, I think. If Johan's still in the chat, I think he can give us the name. It's like something bartender Valhalla or something. something like that. I don't remember. If he's in the chat, he'll let me know. That's my jam. Hold on. Yeah, all right. He'll let you know. But yeah, it's definitely it's not. How would I say this? Because I've been also playing the Ascent, so the review for that is going to come up soon after I finish it. This is the type of world building I wanted from Cyberpunk, where it's like there he is, Brian. VA-11, which is Val, I guess, and then Hall A, Cyberpunk bartender action. That's the one you're talking about. Also, I think an indie game. So, excuse me. Nivalis for me feels more like a real place than Night City. I don't know why. Granted, I haven't put as much hours as you did, Brian, or I don't know how much Randall kept playing, but
it's not much. It is one of those things where you jump in and they just have stupid slang as if that's their way of saying, oh, it's futuristic. They're saying things we don't know. The world itself, it's just a city. It's a city, and then the people in it, or maybe some aesthetic parts but this is future. I after playing it, I wish the first announcement trailer, if it would have stuck to that, I think the game would have been like way more immersive. But the most immersion I got was getting on my motorcycle, turning on the gas station, and just driving places.
That's what I started playing a little bit of Cyberpunk yesterday after I finished Cloudpunk, and I'm like, as great as it looks and stuff, it doesn't. The Nivalis in Cloudpunk is like way into the future, obviously flying cars and things like that. And it's just that the main character in Cloudpunk, yes, she's been there, she understands like what time period it is, but when she gets to Nivalis, she's experiencing Nivalis different because you and her are experiencing Nivalis for the first time, because the first night at the job, the first night, and you're experiencing the shit that you can go through in this city. So having it through her perspective, she's asked the same questions you're asking, but she also has some answers that you don't know you want to know about, like world building, like the android stuff, like all this like android stuff, where she comes from the East Peninsula, all this other things. It's like, oh, okay. It just grounds everything in this futuristic thing where I'm like, this is all believable. Where Cyberpunk, I'm like, it just looks like you guys in Cyberpunk, it's like looks like modern times, but you learn how to put augments. Where Cloudpunk is that and more. I don't know.
You know how,
in terms of narrative, anyway.
The best comparison. You know how the new Battlefield is in the future, but it's kind of just a little more advanced than where we are.
Yes, it's only like this.
That's essentially how it feels playing Cyberpunk.
Yes, I agree with that. But playing this, like if they had, I'm not just saying add shooting to this game because it doesn't need it, because it was very entertaining without it, but like adding like an action RPG to this world already, I'm down. Because it feels like there's a bunch of places you can, like there's parking areas that come up on your map and you have to find like a spot, sit, walk around. The streets are busy with a bunch of NPCs and stuff everywhere you land. Granted, there's only like a couple different variations because they're all voxels. Like there's my favorite one that I see a bunch of time. It looks like a small, like boxy dude. He's got a cigarette coming out. He has a tie. And he's always mean and he's always walking. Like he's got somewhere to go. That's my favorite guy to see. The NPC. So I'm like, oh my bad. Let me get out of the way for you, homie. And he's just like, and he just walks.
Put the money on the table.
Yeah, I don't got the money on the table. I'm barely surviving. Oh, with the money you buy upgrades. Thank you. You do the jobs, you get money in Cloudpunk. You upgrade your Hava, which is the vehicle you drive. They explain what Hava stands for. All of it feels real. I'm talking to you like I know what this is because I felt like I lived there. You're in your Hava, and you can upgrade it, the engine, the thrusters and stuff, and you have an apartment. You can spend cash to put TVs, a new fridge and stuff, like, you know, whatever. And a lot of those things you buy, sometimes you have a conversation with Camus, which is your dog Automata. The thing I was talking about. Currently, he's... Automata, yeah. He's in your car because you can't afford a new dog frame to put him in. And you tell him early on, it's like, I'm doing these jobs so I can get you a new frame and we can get a better home. So they're close together and they have their arc together, like they'll hate each other for a sec. Like it's great. You and your dog robot is fantastic. It's just great. Go play Cloudpunk. Just take some time, go think of it, relax time. It's not huge action wise, but I don't know, it's a very zen, very narrative. I definitely recommend it. Good stuff. Ronnie is awesome. Huxley is my favorite by far. He's just that PR, the Android PI. The way he speaks is like yes. Anyway, but that's that. That's Cloudpunk. And I think that covers everything we've digested here. Oh, man. In a few weeks, we have Xbox Gamescom press conference coming up. I guess next week we can do our predictions of what they're going to show. Everybody knows I'm just waiting for State of Decay 3 at this point. Because State of Decay 2 is great. That's all I got for you guys this week. Brandon, you got anything else? Mm-mm. Brian, you got anything else?
Apparently Funimation bought Crunchyroll.
Did they? Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That might explain. Because when we were watching JoJo on Crunchyroll, like they were having load issues. Like it was, maybe they're in the middle of migrating servers or something. I don't know what it was. So I guess maybe now Funimation got that money to get improved servers or something. Cool. It was finalized today, or did that happen like the past week?
A friend of mine just posted the article on a different server, and I just saw it while we were capodding.
That makes sense. I mean, the only competitor they had was Crunchyroll, I think officially, right? Or VRV was another one that had anime.
Yeah, and that has anime as well.
Mm-hmm. Good. One area, you don't have to, but that way you don't have to do 2 subscriptions, because some people like to watch. I think Funimation has them mostly dubbed, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Right. Okay. Well, I think that would be a good merger. But we'll see. Funimation. Oh no, it's Aniplex. That's what it was. I said it wrong. Yeah, Aniplex. I don't even know if that's the same. I don't know if Funimation owns that or what kind of production studio that is. Yeah, I don't. Oh, good for them, I guess. They're probably popping champagne. If it was the 70s, they'd probably be with cocaine. That's bars. Notable releases for the week for games. I didn't see anything on there, but Brian, if you know anything that's DLC coming out or whatever.
The Dragon Ball patch comes out tomorrow. Everything they showed today is coming out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And you installing immediately and giving us a rundown on Friday? For fighting stream Friday?
It looked interesting. The stuff they added for characters, the way they buffed characters, but no rollback. Not even if it was crossplay. If they had a crossplay and no rollback, I'd be like, let me support it because they're moving the game forward. But neither one of those things, unless someone's like, hey, Brian, play this with me, I'm good.
Not happening. Oof. All right. Well, you know what to do, Ark. Sort it out. Movies this week. We got 2 big ones. Don't Breathe 2, the sequel to The Blind Guy in the House, being in House Invasion. Got a sequel. And Free Guy, the new Ryan Reynolds movie where he plays an NPC who becomes a hero, I think. Are the 2 big ones. There's other movies on there, but I'm not going to read through all of it. Those are the big ones that I saw that I was either anticipating or I've seen are going to be huge. Not huge.
Are they out
mainstream
digitally as well, or is it just going to go outside?
Good question. I don't remember. I'm looking through the thing. Let me double check for you.
I don't remember.
We shall see. Nationwide, Free Guy nationwide. They both said nationwide. I don't see them. Yeah, I think they might both be. I think they're both going to be theater only. Well, let's see if it gets people there. Anywho, well, that's the movies. Music, we got The Killers releasing a new album called Pressure Machine. So, Killers fans out there, we got new music coming. For music on there, Brian, I saw some, maybe Jungle, I think you've mentioned before. But if not, I don't know anybody else on there, unless something was added after the fact.
British indie funk band.
What the hell?
Then never mind. What Jungle is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You said funk. You said British. You said indie. You said.
Am I slap?
Words? I don't know.
I might just listen to it because those words I liked.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know.
All right. So we'll maybe get a review on that next week. And that's about it for us. Randall, what are you doing this week?
Work, gym, play some more Tekken.
Oh shit. Okay.
Art.
Okay.
That's it.
Oof. I hate to see it, guys. He left prayer out. Hate to see it, Brian. Will you leave prayer out? What are you doing
That's
this
my
week?
middle name.
Bryant Prayer De La Rosa. That's your name.
Yeah. What the hell's today? Monday, right? Tuesday. If my two friends are available, I'm gonna see if I can bang out the last 5 episodes of the season for ReZero, and then that'll free up my Tuesdays going forward. Wednesday, we're probably playing some, but then on Thursday, right? I don't know what I'm doing Thursday. I might stream. If I stream, it might be Schoolgirls. I might just make that me time. I might
Schoolgirls. It was chosen
I
for you
might
now.
just play on my own Schoolgirls. Maybe I'll stream it. Maybe I won't.
It's been chosen for you streaming it.
And then Friday, maybe Strive or maybe Skullgirls. Either one, fighting game Friday usually. So one of those will be played. We'll find out together 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So you'll capture both of them and play them at the same time. It's been decided for you.
Okay. And then my weekend's pretty empty that I can recall.
Okay. Oh no, actually, we do need to watch Suicide Squad, so it might be this weekend.
Okay. So then my weekend might be full with Suicide Squad. Wasn't there 2 movies? Oh, Bass and the Furious? Is that?
Oh yeah, and yeah, it is Fast 9 and that. So we're gonna have quite the.
If these other movies you announced this week, that are coming out this week, are digital as well. I mean.
Yeah, we'll see.
You feel me?
Have a marathon. Anyway, this week
hey,
on
Anthony,
the.
shut the hell up. Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, okay. Well, what I'm personally doing this week. Tomorrow we got more Watch Dogs Legion, which old lady with a her hand throwing hands. So that's what we're doing. Wednesday is we're playing that thing, and then Thursday, no idea what co-op I'm gonna play with Janiana. So we'll maybe some Overcooked again or Stardew or something. I'll figure something out. Because Spelunky she did not
sale,
like. Yeah. Overcooked 2, the series is. They're having like a huge like indie sale in that too. So that's that. Yeah, she did not enjoy Spelunky, so we're not doing Spelunky again. And I think that's it. On the YouTube channel I had today, I think was Watch Dogs that came out. We still have a bit of Monster Boy that's going up on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna figure out how to get this long ass play of Cloudpunk on YouTube. And that'll be probably the longest Let's Play in one go.
In history.
Not in history. I've seen others that are probably longer.
Never.
All right. And then, what else? There was something else that was going up. My Overcooked, the Overcooked archive is up to. I don't know what else. I don't know what the hell else was up. What did we play, Brian? Torchlight. Torchlight's up on there. Our gameplay through it. Boat. I think it's all of it's up there. Boat. I'm surprised I didn't name one of them Boat ? Who knows? Anywho, that's about it. Yeah, I already mentioned Thursday. Yeah, and then the weekend maybe we'll probably watch some movies, and we'll be back with those reviews Monday, and that's it for this week's episode of the ADLR Podcast. That's it. You can leave. We're staying here, but you can leave. Goodbye.